This is for Year 12 Specialists. It comes out of 4D question number 5. So I know that the argument of Z1 is between minus pi on 2 and pi on 2. So it's somewhere in there. And the argument of Z2 and Z2 are in there. So if I'm doing this showing, I'm showing that I just have to add the arguments together because it will fall within the right domain. So I know the rule about Z1 times Z2 equals R1 times R2 gis of theta 1 plus theta 2. So we add the two angles together. So what we're showing is the argument of Z1, Z2 is going to equal the argument of Z1 plus the argument of Z2. Now, if I know theta 1 is between minus pi on 2 to pi on 2, and theta 2 is between minus pi on 2 to pi on 2, the smallest that theta 1 can be is minus pi on 2, but not quite. The smallest that Q2 can be, theta 2 can be, is not quite. So if they were both just here, when we add them together, they will fall within the range because they will be less than minus pi. And if they were just slightly less than pi on 2 and slightly less than pi on 2, when I add them together, they'll be less than pi. So the minimum will be when Q theta 1 is almost equal to minus pi on 2 and theta 2 is almost equal to minus pi on 2. Therefore theta 1 plus theta 2 will almost equal negative pi, and that's perfectly okay. And the maximum that theta 1 can be is almost equal to pi on 2, and theta 2 almost equal to pi on 2. Therefore the maximum of theta 1 plus theta 2 will be almost equal to pi. And if that's the case, theta 1 plus theta 2 will be between minus pi and pi, and that's perfectly acceptable. Therefore, I can just add them together and I can subtract them because they're not going to fall outside of the range because they'll always be within minus pi and pi.